if you look at it, you're like, oh gosh, I just hate myself on video. I hate my voice, blah, blah, blah. And I hear it all the time. You have to look past that. So take that deep breath and breathe out and control the moment and say, all right, let me watch this and see how it looks. Because that's the only way you're going to learn, though. Hey, gang, it's another edition of the International Champions Workshop, aka ICW. I'm Jason Justak. I'm with Ian Main. How's it going, brother?
It's going good. It's going good. How are you?
Nice. Hey, doing awesome here too, man. A lot of things have been going on in the United States as we hit July 1st. It is now July 2nd. NAR's been changing stuff. So coming up August 17th, is where the buyer agency implementation, if I could say that word properly, goes into effect. But with our brokerage, we actually are rolling it out now, July 1st. So we get practice, really know what's going in. So for the agents out there, a lot of shifting is going to come up. A lot of conversations need to be had. A lot of movement with that. So we'll be talking about that in the weeks to come. But yeah, and then we've got the NAR settlement, all that stuff. So we'll dive into those throughout the weeks. But today, Ian, man, we want to talk about social media and doing videos, right?
Yep.
You do a lot. Let's dive into that. What's kind of the basis of your videos, and just bring us to light on all that, man.
So I'm sure if you've been in real estate for about a week, then you've already heard that that video marketing is the way forward. It's been the way forward for like the past 10 years. I'm not going to sugarcoat it or anything. And I think it comes down to the fact that we're so saturated with technology and social media and websites and scrolling and content which doesn't serve any other purpose rather than to entertain you and keep you hooked into these social media apps, that we have a terrible attention span. That's what happens. We're like goldfish now. We need to see something. Something needs to hook us within like the first 2-3 seconds. Otherwise, we're just scrolling right on by. So to do that in a image is obviously possible. It works, but there's more chance of it happening if you're doing a video. So I think it comes down to that. And yeah, I've been doing YouTube videos for about 4 years now, I think. And obviously social media, I used to do a lot of TikTok, not so much anymore, but I grew that to about 75,000 followers. I think it's dropped now to about 71 or something like that. And that was obviously all through videos. TikTok doesn't work unless you do videos. And then, I've been keeping consistent with my Instagram more recently. But for me, YouTube was a big thing. But video marketing, I think it's not as easy as just sitting down and talking about the housing market today, posting that on YouTube and getting some buyers or sellers coming through. Like, it can happen, but don't get me wrong, it can certainly happen. It's not going to happen fast. That's the first thing. When it comes to videos, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But the videos, I do videos for like everything. So I do videos for my properties when I get a new listing. I do videos of me showing the property. I do videos of just the property without me. I do videos of the outside of the property, talking about it, trying to get people intrigued about what the inside looks like. I do videos to help other agents. I do videos to morning videos to my team in like our group chat. Like videos, you just kind of get into the habit of doing everything on video. I do day-to-day stuff, videos on my Instagram stories or reels or whatever. So it's not always just sitting down and creating this mainstream corporate, this is the housing market today. That's just the example I throw out there because it's like the most common thing I think between realtors.
Well,
But
and
you
it,
can,
oh,
yeah,
it sounds like you're just very intentional though to create that video, right?
yeah. I mean, the intention is, so when you're creating videos and when you're doing videos, obviously you want to have an objective, and the objective for the majority of realtors, real estate professionals, is going to be get clients, like sellers or buyers or both, or whatever however it is that you work, which is great. But the impact videos can have, so for example, I used to teach social media marketing through a program, and I always spoke about how video marketing, when you're doing videos out there showing properties, showing houses, showing how the market is um, in today's market or whatever, the majority of people that are going to see those videos aren't actually buyers or sellers. It's probably most likely going to be other real estate professionals. I don't know if you've had that experience where your Instagram's probably full of other realtors rather than, you know, and those are the kind of people that will be watching your stuff rather than buyers and sellers. Which again, I'm
Sure.
not saying it can't happen, but that's just how it works. People that are into real estate, the algorithm picks up on that, and the majority of those people are other realtors.
Hmm.
So how does that benefit you? Well, if you have a large following of realtors from your area or nearby areas, and you promote one of your houses, one of your open houses, whatever it is, then the chances of collaboration could literally 10x through social media. So it's not always trying to focus 100% on getting those seller clients, which we need, because if we don't have that, we don't have business. But
Hmm.
think about the impact that a video can have through social media on sellers, buyers, and more importantly, other realtors, because the collaboration that comes from it's insane. There's an example here in Spain. There is a TikToker. He's not even like an 18, 20-year-old. He's an elderly guy that does TikToks. Um, and he grew a massive following, like 250,000, not massive, like 250,000 followers, which is massive for me anyway.
Sure.
Um,
Me too.
yeah, and the majority of his followers are other realtors. And what he does now, he actually travels the country, does collaborations with other realtors showing their properties. And because his videos reach millions of people all over the world, he helps sell the other agents' properties. So there's like so many different things that we can do with videos. Creating
Yeah.
one video, you just don't know where it's going to go, and the impact can be huge. But I would
Yeah.
always have intention in it. I would always recommend trying to I don't know how to explain it, spice things up maybe. Not too
Yes.
spicy, but none of those kind of videos. But you don't want to be you don't want to be boring. You want to be entertaining. You want to educate if possible. If you're not entertaining, try to educate. That's where I always kind of go with my videos. I either entertain or educate or do both together. If it's none of
Yeah.
those, I don't even bother.
Well, and at the same time with that, you also want to be genuine, right? So it's really knowing yourself of, hey, are you more entertainer? Are you more educator? Or yeah, a combination, or how can you appeal? And if those two words scare you, then maybe that's something we dive into to say, hey, how can we help you as a realtor kind of break out away from, hey, I'm scared to do videos because I'm not an educator, I'm not an entertainer, but getting out there doing them, it's so influential. Just like you said, Ian, you do videos for nearly everything. And I would do when it's people's birthdays, I'm doing a video telling them happy birthday versus a post.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you think about posting on social media, what stops you from turning that into a video? And instead of typing what your post is, you just record it. So that's where I would say to start. What about you?
No, I think that's it. It's just all about getting started. And I think being genuine, which you mentioned there at the start, being transparent and being genuine who you are, whether you're an entertainer or an educator or whatever, is super important, because, and you've seen it, you can see right through people that aren't genuine on their social media. You know exactly when someone's trying to sell you something just to make money off of you. You know when people are actually there to provide value. You know, you get that kind of energy from them, even though it's through video. So always be genuine on you. I actually get a lot of comments through private messages coming through. People telling me that they like my content because it's transparent and I'm genuine, and they can see that through the content. But if it's something that you're scared of, which is normal, like everybody's scared of making their first videos.
I'm scared of making a video any day.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
And it kind of goes, it's funny because it goes back to last week we spoke about doing cold calls, and I mentioned that I was an introvert and that I really hated cold calling in the beginning, but it brought out this kind of strange confidence in me once I got into it. Put me in a room full of people, and I shy away, and it's hard for me to kind of get into the flow of things and kind of come out of my shell a little bit. But put me in front of a camera, and I'm absolutely fine. So, and I think it's because, again, it doesn't. If you're thinking of doing your first post on social media through a video, record it 50 times. It doesn't matter. Nobody's watching you. Nobody's. And this might be hard to hear, but it's true. Nobody's watching you, and it's highly likely that no one's going to see it anyway. It's okay. Don't worry about it. That's like
maybe your parents or your dog or somebody.
Yeah, your grandma might see it on Facebook or whatever. But I got so worked up when I did my first YouTube video, which is still up there, and it's a terrible video. It is. It's awful. But I'm not going to remove it.
Right.
And it took me so long to prepare for it. I tried writing out a script, and I had my phone pile resting on a pile of like 6 or 7 books on top of the table because I was using the Windows natural light because I don't have any lights. And it was this stupid setup, but I did it and I got it out the way.
Right.
It was okay. I recorded it like 4 times. It was like a 20-minute long video or something like that. So God knows how long I was there in total, over an hour between getting it ready and everything. And then no one saw it. And I was like, was it really worth all of the, all of the fear and anxiety that I was going through that I just kind of created in my own head before recording? And if that's still something that scares you, I recommend doing a Facebook or an Instagram story because they disappear after 24 hours. So it's like, it's okay if no one's going to see it and it'll go away.
Yeah. And that's a great piece of advice. I think a lot of people, it's the mental game though, because it's not about being on Facebook or if it's out there. I don't really ever hear people are like, oh man, I don't really like being on Facebook. It's the act of doing.
Yeah.
And you get that mental, just like you said with cold calls last week, you get a block. What if they don't come in? What's going on? Hey Trish, how are you?
Hi, good, Justin. How are you?
Good. We're just talking about our videos and all this good stuff. So yeah, just we're being recorded. We're having a good time and doing some video talk. So yeah, you feel free to chime in too. But yeah, what I was just saying with all that is just seeing what works. And we gotta get out there and push yourself to be vulnerable and get past that mindset. That mindset's going to stop you from doing anything, and that's it in any facet. So
and I think,
what do you think on that, Ian, too?
I think that you kind of hit the nail on the head there with, it's not so much the fear of being on social media that scares people away from doing videos. It's the actual act of doing the video itself. So you can see it when people do their first video.
It's all of that.
Yeah. It's a mix of all of it, but they go rigid and they start speaking like a robot, which they've never done in their life before. It's just all of a sudden when they see the recording seconds ticking by, they're like, oh God. And you kind of stiffen up and you start talking kind of weird. That's true, but I think what it
Or
comes down
ramble
to, and this
on.
is probably everybody's fault when it comes to recording videos and being on social media or whatever, is the consistency of it. It's we think about doing video marketing like, okay, I'm going to start Monday, and then you do it. Maybe for that first week, you do like a video a week, maybe for 2 weeks, and then you ended up having this listing appointment, which was like an emergency when you were going to record the video. So you had to change the day, and then it kind of went on to the next day. But then that next day you had appointments with something else. And then you've got the kids going to football, and you got this, and then the video disappears. Another week goes by, and you kind of forget about it, and you go back into your old routine. It's a habit. It's just building the habit of doing it. And I'm terrible with it myself. I'll go through phases of recording like a video a week for like 6 months straight, and then nothing happens for 4 months, and then I get back into it and I fall out of it. I kind of go back and forth.
Yeah. Well, and I want to get back on that consistency piece. And Trish, you do some videos. You know what? You've done a few. What would hold you up from doing a video then?
I don't like it. And I'm a big proponent of, I know getting out of my comfort zone, that's important too. However, if you're really not happy doing what you're doing, it shows. It shows. Like, I'm a good cold caller, but me and other people are not. And they don't do it consistently because they don't like doing it. And so I'm always a proponent of do what you're going to do consistently.
Yeah.
Now, maybe I will use AI to help me with the with video if I get to that. But I'm not sure how we got into video international and what the purpose would be. I don't feel that me doing videos is going to help me do what I'm doing now at this point. I could be wrong.
Yep. Well, and
Right.
that again, what we were talking about at the beginning, knowing you. What works for you? What works for your business? Is it videos? Is it the AI? Is it cold calls? We talked about cold calls last week. You know, so it's those things that, you know, some of the people that watch this, they may not know themselves. I didn't know myself when I started, and I was able to learn, and, you know, I had the support, I had the coaching to figure out what works, and I still work on that. You know, you mentioned a word, Trish, consistent. You're consistent on your cold calls, and that's key. We were talking about consistency on the videos. You know, Ian, you were saying, hey, you've got a gap sometimes, you hit that. So that's where you want to bridge that stuff, because in real estate, we got to stay consistent monthly, yearly, and it continues to grow. So
Are we talking about attraction or real estate business lead gen?
real estate business.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think videos for real estate business are probably more appropriate. I could be wrong. It could be the same. Whatever it is you do, if you're consistent, though, it will work.
That's it. That's it. That's the thing. And for me, getting into videos for my real estate production, I started off, whenever I got a new listing, I would create a video. And for me, getting into that video, because I didn't want to at the beginning, what I would do is I would record through the house, you know, showing the property off, because what I like to send people videos of the property before we view it. And then at the end of it, I would turn the camera around for like 5 seconds, show myself like, this is the house, this is where it is, this is the price, let me know if you're interested. And that was it. That was like how I started being on camera with my properties, and that I was still uncomfortable with it, but, you know, over time you kind of get more and more comfortable. And then it also depends on, again, getting to know yourself and kind of figuring out your own style of videos as well, because some people can make them super entertaining in certain ways,
Mhm.
Whereas, you know, everybody has their own way of doing that and keeping the audience engaged and whatever else. So, and the only way to discover it is by doing. You know, that's not something you can kind of read up on and just do from the first video that you ever record. But
When you're doing though, you need to pay attention to yourself. And maybe watch it back and not to judge yourself that, man, I suck at this video. Look past that, and how can you learn from what you are sucking at, you know, and improve, because that's gonna help you move that needle further. If you look at it, you're like, oh gosh, I just hate myself on video, I hate my voice, blah blah blah. And I hear it all the time. You have to look past that. So take that deep breath and breathe out and control the moment and say, all right, let me watch this and see how it looks. Because that's the only way you're going to learn, though. If
yeah,
you're doing it consistently and you're going to do it, how, especially just like Trish doing cold calls, were you great at the beginning? Probably not. And you know, you gradually improved. And then as you're listening to conversations or doing a video, you're like, that sounds better. I'm making more sense now. I tweaked it with my videos. When I did, you talked at the beginning, Ian, about having that short attention span and you need that quick 30-second hook right at the beginning, right? So I had to train my mind on how to convey what I wanted to, what I was thinking, but make it into a hook.
Yeah.
And that took me a while. You know, I'm kind of like that old dog, new trick style. You know, I'm like, oh man, can this really work? Yeah. But once I started hitting it, I'm like, all right, now I've got a little bit of a hook. And now I'm trying to improve those on each of my videos. And so when you know that, hey, that's the basis to get it, 30-second hook, you know, don't come in and say your name right at the beginning. Hey guys, this is Jason. My name's right there. They see it. They see it on social media when I make a post. You know, they don't need to see my name. So 30 seconds, what are we talking about? Because otherwise people are going to swipe right through. Right.
Right.
That's a good point.
That's a huge piece. What was that?
That's a very good point.
Yeah. And
it's hard.
Right.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say it was really a hard piece for me to get over that, and now I like it because I feel like my videos have more meaning just because I tweak that hook at the beginning, and now I actually have more intention because now I know what the rest of my own video is going to be about instead of winging it. Right now, I'm like, hey guys, I've got a new listing in Whitestown, Indiana. Take a look. You know, my hooks are better than that, but that's where I want to lead into.
And one thing that I think is kind of going back to the consistency part of it. I think that what throws a lot of people off is that they might do videos for some time, you know, whether it's every day or every week or whatever. They're seeing that they're not getting much traction. Like there's nothing happening with these videos. I'm putting all this effort in. They got like 20 views here, or they got like 2 likes on that one. I put it on YouTube and it's got like 15 views and it's been 3 months. Like, and I think that kind of throws people off and they kind of lose the consistency there because they don't see the point in doing it anymore. But I will say, for example, I have my YouTube channel, which is more of like I like to kind of educate realtors on certain topics and motivate and inspire. But then I created another one recently, and I think I'm at maybe 20 subscribers now. It was a random channel that I thought one day I'm going to create this, and this is where I'm going to upload my listing videos, so that when I have a buyer come through, I can just send them a YouTube link. Then rather than trying to send them like this video file or whatever, I just send them a YouTube link. It'd be way easier. And when it was at about 10 subscribers, I actually had buyers coming through for one of my hotter listings at the time via that YouTube channel. So it's not always about, what's the point because I don't have any followers. I don't have anyone that's going to see these videos. You never know. And especially when it comes to YouTube, I talk about that a lot because that's what I do the majority of my video content. Once it's there, it's always there on YouTube, which is awesome.
Well, and that's the power of YouTube, is that and people will come to it when they want to, and that's great. And and again, we keep coming back to things that we mentioned. The intention, you're very intentional with your YouTube videos, and you're now split them apart to have, hey, this is more real, they're influential, inspiration, and then you've got for your listings, which is very smart to do that. Having intention to know what social media platform you're going to be on is going to be huge, because they all operate differently, especially if you want all those views. And you mentioned something that, people get detoured because they look at that like and, oh, I only got 1 like out of it. And that was from my dad or something, that was like, he saw me do my work. But I always say, don't look for the like. Do the work, post it, and move on to the next. Don't look for that validation that I need 80,000 subscribers and I need 50,000 likes on this video. Don't do that. You're going to beat yourself down. Just know that your intention is purposeful. You've got great content. You're, like you said earlier, Ian, you're educating, you're motivating, you're entertaining. That's what people want, And some people don't like to hit the subscribe. They don't like to hit comment. They don't hit like. But they see you, and that's gonna take you places. So just stay consistent with what you're doing all the time, and keep improving your game, and your videos will continue to get better and better.
That's it. Yeah. Don't focus on the numbers. Just make it like a personal goal of yours. Like if you wanted to get into video marketing and whatever else, whether pick one social media platform, whether it's TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, and then set yourself the goal of, rather than, oh, I want to get 100 likes and I want this to go viral, set yourself the goal of, okay, let me do 4 videos this month. Just to start off easy, start, 1 a week. Right. And then do that for yourself, even if none of them get any views and you get like 10 likes between all 4 of them. It doesn't matter. Just set that personal goal for yourself, like 4 videos in a month. I can do that, and then pat yourself in the back and be happy that you did it. And if it's something that you see yourself doing, then carry on doing it. Trying to create that habit, because as I said at the beginning, you never know the impact that these videos can have on buyers, sellers, or other agents, which might see your open house video and have a buyer for you. You just never know until it's there. And that was something else that you kind of touched on, which I just mentioned now. Pick one social media platform. Don't go crazy and don't try to be everywhere all the time. Just pick one and master that one until it kind of takes off. And then you can, for me, for example, I'll make a 15-20 minute YouTube video, obviously put that on YouTube, and then I can cut it up into 30-second, like a bunch of 30-second videos, and then kind of redistribute those onto other social media platforms. But for me, it's YouTube all the time. That's the only one that I really focus on, because otherwise you spread yourself too thin, and then you get demotivated, and then you stop making videos. Like that's what happened.
Yeah. No, it's exactly right. Jack of all trades, master of none, right? If you're doing all the social media platforms. So listen to Ian on that stuff, you guys. Definitely good stuff to really hone in on that one. What is that one? Again, maybe it's that dive in to figure that out. Reach out to us and we can figure all that stuff out today too. So Ian, Trish, we're going to wrap it up today. We're already, hitting 30 minutes. It's blowing by already. What do you guys have left? What do you want to wrap this up with?
Well, it's not going to be wrapped up with this, but maybe future. But I would like to come up with a plan to work on my international attraction. I am Italian. I speak Italian. I have friends and family in Italy. Not many, but some. And so not really sure how to go about it. And probably, that's a drunk monkey on my shoulder. It's probably not that different. And I would love some guidance on that if you have that. And Elaine, where are you? Actually,
I'm in Spain, so
you're
I'm
in
not
Spain.
sure. I
Okay.
can't really
And
answer.
yeah, somebody I just brought on knows a coach in Portugal and who works with brokers, was a broker. And so I want to also be able to help him work that side of it. So I just need to have a better understanding and feel, and I would love for that to be part of a conversation in the future.
Love it.
Yeah,
I love
we
it.
could definitely do that because it's like, so right now we have agents in 5 countries all over the world.
Yeah.
I'm one of the top 10 sponsors in Spain and have been for the past 3 years. Agents in Portugal, Mexico, Chile, US. That's definitely something we can touch on in the future because this is what it's all about. This is what the ICW, or the International Championship Workshop, is all about. It's the collaboration and the fact that we're borderless. I'm sat
Yeah.
in Spain right now. I'm just about to finish my day, and you guys are not even like halfway through yet. So it blows my mind that we're actually here doing this now. And that's definitely something we can touch on. But yeah, to wrap up this session, video marketing, I think, is a great way to discover this hidden confidence inside of you that you might not know that you have, because that's what happened to me, especially. And I also mentioned last week, that's what cold calling did to me, was brought out this weird confidence I never knew I had. But videos did the same thing. As an introvert, the videos helped me become more comfortable in front of a camera, which I can then kind of translate over to actually being in front of other people as well, because that's something that I struggle with. So if it's something you wanted to get started with, just do it bit by bit. Choose your one social media platform. Do like a 1-minute video if you must to begin with, for a month, and then let it take off bit by bit from there. So
Gotcha. Thank you for the encouragement. Appreciate you both. And we're about to celebrate our independence as a country. So I'm off to a weekend-long party tomorrow. I hope you're doing something fun, Jason.
Awesome. We have a big neighborhood party, so we've got like a water slide for the kids and a ton of
Cool.
activities and all this stuff. So yeah, it's always a great time. So looking forward to that as well. And I appreciate you guys joining us today, talking those videos. Get out there and do it. Just make it happen, and join us next week. We'll be back 12 o'clock
Awesome.
Eastern time next Tuesday. Have a good week, you
See you
guys.
then. Thanks, you
You
too.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.